One Piece Manga Chapter 986 is out, so we're gonna do a short review and reaction video. So, let's get right to it. I found the cover story quite funny. I didn't think that Lola and Chiffon would reject Pound like that and leave him there. The Marines seemed to be onto him. But anyway, we jump to the first page of the chapter, which was basically a confirmation that the Scabbards really did manage to defeat Kanjuro, and the group were recalling the memories they had with him. I realize now how great a leader Izo is because he got them all in the same page and focused back onto why they were invading Onigashima in the first place. Kaido was continuing his announcement and was really forcing an answer out of Orochi's men, to which they instantly decided to switch sides. 5,000 Oniwa Banshu and 5,000 samurai now joined Kaido in Big Mom's alliance, because they wanted to avoid all of the bloodshed amongst each other, probably for now. But this really gives Big Mom and Kaido's alliance the numbers advantage. I really did expect this to happen, and I think that with the translation I read, I see some slight hesitation in the conversations in between the samurai, so I think they might end up switching sides when they see all the rebel samurai taking action, especially under the leadership of figures that they know, like Hyogoro and Denjiro. Speaking of Hyogoro, he lashes out at the samurai and the Oniwa Banshu, shouting at them and asking if they still remember the warrior's code, which I really find funny because I didn't think he'd ever do that, to be quite frank. Then we cut back to Big Mom, and it seems Nami is wounded on the side of her head, which I didn't think would be the case. I thought that Big Mom just caught them and were roughly thrown onto the floor. So I suppose that Nami and Carrot put up a decent fight against Big Mom, and Shinobu was seen leaving the area, possibly going to Momonosuke's rescue. In the translation I read, Nami was thinking, at least you have to find him. Find Momonosuke. Which makes me think that Shinobu ran away and didn't help with the fight against Big Mom at all. Which I find quite weird, really. I'm not sure why, but I think there's something there. Anyway, we move on to Kaido, and he recalls that 20 years back, he seems to have recognized Momonosuke from the castle, but Momo didn't really answer his questions back then, so Kaido proceeds to ask Momo his real name. I think that Kaido is really respectful of others, and a bit kind to some degree. Even his crew thinks that his action is really compassionate because he basically gives Momonosuke an out from his impending execution. All Momonosuke has to do is lie, and he'll walk away with his life. Kaido's crew was actually making fun of Momo while he was trying to answer, but we cut to where Luffy and Yamato were, and they were continuing their talk, and Luffy confirms to Yamato that Momonosuke is actually the son of Oden, and that the Scabbards are still alive. He finally takes off the handcuffs on Yamato, just like Rayleigh did with Kami's neck ring when she was being auctioned off in Shabodi Archipelago. And the cuffs did end up exploding. I felt that Kaido doesn't really make empty threats because people with high stature rarely do. I know he did this in the past when he got Oden to back off for 5 years while they built up their army and their strength, but I still think that was not an empty threat. I think that Kaido believes they were equal back then, even though Oden was so strong on his own. I just think that Kaido wanted to lessen the losses and take a more favorable fight against Oden, which is really logical and smart thinking. Next, we see a bit of Ulti and Who's Who. They learn where Yamato and Luffy are, so they're obviously going to give chase. Ulti really reminds me of Jewelry Bonnie because they both like to hold grudges. Anyway, Ulti seems to have recovered quite well, and the bloodstain on her mask is gone too. We finally get to see Usopp and Chopper with the running Brachio tank and them joining the fray in the activity hall, just in time for the execution. This is really what I expected to happen because if they continue to rendezvous with Frankie and Brook, they will definitely be too late to help with rescuing Momonosuke. And I feel that with Usopp's marksmanship, He can definitely make an impact there because of his accuracy and godly range, with the help of Captain Chopper and the weaponry in the Brachiotank, of course. We also see the scabbards rushing in, and I really find it cool when I see all of them in action. We also cut to Zoro, Kid, and Law, and I'm really surprised that Zoro isn't lost somewhere, but this outcome is kind of predictable because he is basically in the middle of Kaido's crew, so it's obvious that he would be fighting, but we haven't confirmed yet if he's actually lost. The same is true for Kid. I'm not sure why he's smiling though. I couldn't confirm if he was beating up Apu, because the sharps that Apu has on his teeth weren't shown, as well as his goggles or his hair. So I'm going to hold off in celebrating because I really want Kid to get his revenge on Apu. Next we have Law and Beppo. They seem to be fighting as well, which is awesome because I really like Beppo. Sumimasen deshita. We finally cut back to Momonosuke and we were reminded that his name stands for the Peerless One, which confused me because the first time I read it, it was like, oh, he has no same age friends. I thought I thought it read peerless, as in he has no peers, but I realized it means the top or the best one. Total brain fart right there. But anyway, he shouts with pride and lets everyone know he is the son of Odin, Momonosuke, and he'll be the next shogun of Wano. Kaido's crew responds in laughter, but now, straight up, I think this is expected because of the image we have of a proper samurai. Obviously, Momonosuke is emulating his dad and trying to become the best version of a samurai he could be. But it's still badass for Momo to do this, and I think that Kaido would respect him for it. Because not everyone would do this in the face of death, and it's a very admirable action. He did it even though he was fearful and was really thinking of living and seeing Hiyori for one more time. And then an explosion interrupts the whole thing, which leaves me to wonder if Kaido would silence his crew and take a minute to really admire what Momonosuke did. We see that the cuffs on Yamato really did explode, and she started shouting out all of her pent up resentment for Kaido. I'm really getting the feel that Luffy is starting to trust Yamato because now he calls her Yamao. Kinda like Torao, and Law is a character that he considers as his nakama. So, theory confirmed, I guess. But anyway, I wasn't expecting what happened next because we saw all the scabbards rushing Kaido. Queen was surprised, like always, and King didn't expect Izo to come with them as Izo shot his katana out of his hand. Which is weird because I'm used to seeing Izo shooting swords in half. Maybe it's just because of the quality of King's sword, but anyway, all of them attacked Kaido at the same time, and all or some of them were screaming Snatch, while Izo was shooting out Queen, or in the translation I've read, Sunachi. Nekomamushi went for Kaido's club, and Kiku was looking like she's slashing Inuarashi. And Kawamatsu looks like he's about to cut Nekomamushi in half. because of this is because of their positioning. And while all of this was happening, Kaido was still provoking them, asking them if they thought their weapons could hurt him, as they started pushing Kaido down to the activity hall. And the chapter ends there. I'm really excited for the next chapter, seeing how the story is going right now. I feel like there's going to be some sort of drama, and I'm a bit concerned for Momonosuke, seeing how Jack, Queen, and King are still near him, and seemingly Izo and Kawamatsu are the only ones that were left there because everyone else is pushing Kaido down to the activity hall. I'm sure Kaido feels good because he's smushing Nekomamushi's face, and that has got to be a very nice feeling petting Nekomamushi because he's so cuddly. But anyway, to wrap this video up, I just want to say how awesome it is seeing the child version of Kawamatsu, Nekomamushi, and Inura Arashi. I believe they're always well drawn, as well as how cool Raizo finally looks in this last panel when he was attempting that flying ninja stabbing technique. I'm not sure what it's called, but I call it cool. So this wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and do crush like while you're screaming snatch, just like the scabbards, and comment down below what your favorite thing is about this chapter. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because on the next video, we're predicting what would happen to chapter 987 onwards. As always, stay safe, peace.